Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. Today we're going to be talking about AR15 triggers, specifically the one in this gun, which is the Rise Armament single stage. Then we have a Timney trigger in this gun. This is actually the gun my daughter uses for deer hunting, so it's got the Timney single stage targa trigger in it. And then we have a standard Milspec, basically any kind of lower parts kit that has a fire control group trigger in this. So a couple things we'll talk about. We'll talk about the price point for one, and really that's going to narrow down between the Rise Armament and the targa trigger from Timney. And you know, these Rise Armament drop-in triggers I think are really underrated. You can see it's clear, but these are excellent triggers in my opinion. They very little take up, good wall, resets good, and yeah, I mean this reset's really nice with once you hit the reset, the trigger is really good after that. But the same can be said for the Timney. So excellent trigger, single stage, and listen, I don't know if you can hear it, but listen to that reset. Very, very tactile reset on the Timney. So like I was talking about price point, when you're talking about the Rise Armament, you're looking at about anywhere from $130 to $160 depending on where you find it. The Timney tends to be more around the 200, a little over, again, depending on where you find it. So I'll put parts numbers to both of these triggers in the video. But let's find out if the price difference actually gives you that much gain for what you're getting here. All right, so first and foremost, disregard the mess I've got going in the back here. I've been working in reloading room here and it's a mess, but I've got this back out. This thing seems to whoop my hind end every time I get it out, but let's just check them out. First off, so let's turn it on. Clear. God, I hope I do this right every time. It didn't record anything. I didn't hit ready. God. All right, let's do it again. £3 pounds, 14 ounces. One more time. Clear, ready. 3 pounds, 15 ounces. So pretty consistent, almost 4 pound, a little less than 4 pound trigger. It feels a little better than that actually, just the way that the trigger is made and the way it performs. So let's try the Timney. Now this is a flat face, so I'm gonna try to put this bar at the same place up and down wise on the trigger as on the curved. That way there's no leverage advantages. £2 pounds, 9 ounces. Let's do it again. Clear, ready. £3 pounds, 8 ounces. That one was a little different. Let's see what we get on a third. 3 pounds, 7.7 ounces. So you're looking at almost 4 pound with Rise Armament, about 3.5 with the Timney. So let's see what we get with a standard Mil-spec trigger. And like I said, this thing is standard, this run-of-the-mill Mil-spec trigger. You're talking hundreds of dollars for these drop-ins, under 50 for this fire control group. So safety off. 4 pounds, 14 ounces. Four pounds, 4 ounces. 5 pounds, 3 ounces. So a little closer to 5 pounds with this one. Okay, so the next thing that I want to point out real quick is, if you can see, I don't know if the light's going to allow me, there we go. You can see these are just standard fire control pins that are in the lower here. And this is the one with the Timney targa trigger. Now the way that this installs is it uses just regular standard pins, and when you look in here, you'll actually have the drop-in unit, and then there is a set screw that goes against the bottom of the receiver in the drop-in unit, and when you tighten that up, it puts tension on your pins. If you don't do that, your pins will slide in and out really easily because there's no spring detents or anything to grab the notches on the pins like with a regular fire control group. Whereas the Rise Armament, you can see, has the anti-walk pins, and it comes with a hollow set of pins that go through, and it has the little screws that go in each end, wrenches to tighten it up with, and you don't have to worry about any kind of set screws on the internal unit, anything like that. I actually kind of prefer this setup opposed to using the standard pins and having to use tension against the bottom of the receiver to install. Like with the standard Milspec type unit, those pins are fine. The regular standard pins are fine with no kind of retention, like tension on the actual trigger body, because the way that the springs are designed, the springs lay in the notches on the pins that kind of lock them in place and keep them from walking in or out. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is I want to show you a close-up of how the actual triggers move during pulling and the resets. So let me start with the Rise Armament. I will get it close. All right, hopefully you can see it well. No take up, and there was the wall immediately. All right, let's get the reset. There's the reset, and you can see very little movement. I really like this trigger. So there was the reset, and there was the brake. There's no wiggle there. So let's just go from fully off of the trigger. There's no take up there. It's no slop. And like I said, it is a single stage trigger instead of the double stage. Double stage, you'll have a little take up. That's part of the double stage, but these are single stage. So, all right, let's check the Timney. Get you close here. Little take up, and there's the brake. There's the reset. Very audible tactile reset. And there's the brake. Again, I mean, they're excellent triggers. I do feel like this one has a little bit more mush, a little bit more take up, whereas the Rise Armament did not, but both are excellent. And now let's take a look at the trash here. Here's the standard Milspec trigger. And you can see it takes up, and I hit a little wall, it goes again, and then there's the brake. So that's more of like a double stage, two-stage trigger. There's the reset. Now we're at the reset, a little bit of take up, a little bit more, and then there's the brake. Reset, little take up, there's the brake. So you'll have to decide for yourself how much money you're willing to spend to increase the trigger performance. And honestly, I can't say that there's a big trigger performance between the Timney that I have and the Rise Armament that's in a buddy's rifle that I just finished for him. I don't know that there is a difference in performance. It may be a difference in preference, something of that nature, but performance-wise, they come out pretty close to me. I mean, I'm not a big trigger snob. I have Mil-spec triggers in most of my rifles, but, you know, clearly there's an advantage over Milspec. That's why I have the Timney trigger in my hunting rifle for my daughter. It does give a little bit of an advantage where I don't have to worry about her making an unethical shot versus an ethical shot based on yanking the trigger. So any sort of advantage I can get that way for her, of course, I'm going to do it. Hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to try to put out 2 videos a week for the next coming weeks. Job situation may be changing, maybe going a little farther away, so I won't be home as much. So I may end up going to 1 video a week after that, but I'm going to try to pump out 2 a week, kind of core videos on Saturday, secondary type videos on Tuesdays. So if y'all liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it. Really helps out these small channels. Till next time, guys, stay tuned.